What's going on, Buff Nation? Welcome back to another video. So we had a lot to talk about today. Coach Prime in his presser on Saturday kind of lit on a few tea leaves that I want to break down a little bit, get your thoughts and opinions about. He talks about recruiting and his tactics and what he's trying to do. And again, it speaks to a lot of things. And also another comment that Shedeur Sanders said about the team, where things are headed. All in all, great week. And we're going to talk about all of those things, get your thoughts and opinions about it. Of course, before we do, what we got to do, got to roll the intro. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another video. So we're going to talk a little bit about the spring game, but of course, talk about the comments that Coach Prime had to make. So over the last 72 hours, there was 9 commits, some for 2025, but mostly for the 2024 transfer portal cycle. Now, we're up to 76 on the scholarship scale, need to get to the 85, but Coach Prime alludes to more coming. Now, this was obviously before Sunday, so he said there's about 5 more committing. He said this on Saturday, which was after 3 had already committed, I believe. So I'm assuming 5 more. And we had 3 commit yesterday. So could there be 2 more? But then he kind of says more are going to come. So I'll play the first clip and then we'll go from there. It's interesting.
Having the depth, and the depth is on the campus right now that's committing left and right. I don't know if have we released the commits? Because there's been several that's committed. I think it's a couple more here right now. Well, I think it's about 5 more that's here right now that's committed. I don't know if we released it yet, but you'll hear about it really soon.
We're waiting on compliance.
Excuse me?
We're waiting on compliance to do the paperwork.
Oh, okay. I don't know what you said, but it sounds good.
So the guys that were waiting on compliance to do some paperwork to get the other ones basically official, signed through, and pushed through. Now, like I said, this was before what happened yesterday, which was 3 more commits yesterday. So could there be 2 more that are coming from this commitment class? Again, we've got to get about 9 more to fill in that scholarship. But then later on in the class, in the interview, he's talking about cornerback, the depth at cornerback position. And here's what he said about that.
Good. He really is. So we just wanted to see a little more depth and versatility, and we got 4 more corners coming.
So I don't know if that 4 goes with the 5 or if it's 5-4 plus 4 more corners. One of those commits yesterday was a cornerback, so I would assume there's at least 3 more that will be committing. Maybe it's cornerback. Maybe that Alex Graham was part of that and he was unaware of the Alex Graham commitment. All in all, it's kind of a little bit back and forth on where things are headed. I think we can safely say that more will be committing to the Colorado Buffs over the next few days like we've been speaking on. But let's get into a little bit more. Again, I want to talk about what Shedeur said about the transfer portal and the guys leaving. But then also, too, somebody asked him, like, hey, how are you selling these recruits? What are you telling them and why they should be coming to Colorado? And I think what he says is just kind of sums up what we've been talking about on the show and then also alludes to what Shedeur said in his presser.
I don't sell anything because I don't have anything for sale. I don't. I don't sell them dreams. I don't sell them hope and sell them wishes. I tell them everything they get, they're going to have to earn. I don't promise you a number. I'm not promising you a position. I'm not promising you to start. If you want it, come and get it. We don't sugarcoat anything. We're not going to baby you. We're not going to hold your hand. You have 127 years of NFL experience up under this roof. It's on you. We are a tremendous navigational system to the game that you want to play. We know what we're doing. We know how to get there because we've been there, especially as a collective group. So it's sometimes the conversation gets repetitive, and I don't like that because it is what it is. If you want money, go to that department and talk about that, but I'm not the guy to talk about that. I want to talk football. So if it's a business deal, that's something else. I want you to come here for football. Now, once we get the football together, if the business works, let's do it. But don't come here for business, and then the secondary thought process is football. I'm a football coach, and I love the game. Now, what separates me from everyone else, I feel good right now. What separates me from everyone else is I've sat in 3 seats. I gave you a dramatic pause so you can follow me. I'm the parent, right? A couple kids in college football. I've been the kid, right? I was a straight dog. Now I'm the coach. I know what the whole room's thinking. It's a tremendous advantage.
I think that's something we don't forget, but it's very easy to overlook. I don't think there's too many like Coach Prime. Again, coaching, there's probably a lot of coaches that are parents, but play the game and were the dog, right? Pretty good at it at the game. So they've been in this in like every aspect that you could possibly think of when these people are visiting. Now, another part I want to talk about too, we talk about these guys visiting and kind of not selling them, right? And speaking to them in a sense of like, look, you're going to come here to play football. I don't really care about any of the other stuff. And I talked about this in another video, and I've talked about it before, where again, why you avoid the recruiting class? Why do you focus more on the transfer portal? Because you kind of move all the nonsense out of the way. When these kids are coming out of high school, and as they should, they feel like they're him. So they go through this cycle. They want the red carpet treatment. They want to be treated like royalty. And there are schools out there that will do that and provide that and sell them a pipe dream and and tell them what they want to hear. I've said this time and time again. I think Coach Bryant's personality, obviously he is verifying that, doesn't fit that mold. And number two, their bank doesn't fit that mold where I can sell you this pipe dream and just stock up this talent. That's not how Colorado is going to be able to function, and that's okay. That's just, it is what it is. So why even try to hide that? Just get it out of the way. What I'm establishing, what I've built in, and again, it's over 120 years of NFL experience. I'm trying to get you to the next level. I think that's another important part that he said in this last little presser where, look, we can talk business, but let's get the football part figured out first. Because if we get this dialed in and we get this figured out and you're humming, the business will just come right along, right? We're trying to put the cart before the horse here. We're trying to get paid and your feet haven't even touched the ground yet. What am I paying you for? Because some not third-party company gave you an extra star next to your name? That could mean nothing, right? Did you see the reports that came out of this draft of how many 3 and 4 and 5 stars were drafted? 13% of 5 stars went on to the NFL. 53% of players that were rated as 3 stars, 53% of the 3 stars went to the NFL in this past draft this year. So stars don't necessarily mean anything. It's what you put in the 4 years that you're here on this campus. I know you think your stars mean something. I'm going to tell you right now, they don't. It's just what somebody else thinks about you. Now, they have value. I understand all those things, but I think there's got to be this middle ground, and we're in a very gray area right now, and I think Coach Brown does a great job of just kind of cutting through the bullshit of like, I'm not here to get back in the patty whack. Here's what we're going to provide for you. Is this what you want? Cool. Down the hall to the left, you'll sign that paperwork, and then to the right, you'll sign the other paperwork. But football-wise, this is what I'm offering you. That's it. Keep it simple. That's going to be their strength and weaknesses. Now, let's talk about the transfer portal a little bit here, too, about just the attrition that has happened. Shador was asked about it. And again, something that was interesting, and you kind of heard about it last year, I think, with some guys popping off on Twitter and their thoughts of the team playing selfish ball, right? Somebody tweeted that last year about that, and I spoke to what that meant. What I felt that it meant was the guys are playing thinking of themselves versus thinking about the other 10 guys surrounding them, right? When you can play trusting the person behind you, it makes this cohesive unit and everything just flows better. The problem is sometimes you get these egos out there and everyone wants to play for themselves, which doesn't turn into team football. And this, I think, is supporting that, again, based on the guys who left. Shador said there was definitely a lot of highs and lows. And there was. Last year, I mean, you got to think about it. You come in on this massive high of Colorado, first year, you're crushing it. It's hard to balance. And then you have a massive low, right? Those two things are massive swings that a lot of college kids aren't prepared for. Even with the portal going on, but I feel like we've got all the negative energy out of the building. So now it's just positive vibe now, Sanders said following the Colorado spring game. It's no complaining. It's really no anything. We got to go out there and play with a clear mind. Everybody's going to want the ball. Everybody's going to want to do their part. But at the end of the day, I don't care if in each game with 100. If I end each game with 150 yards, I'm just trying to win this year. That's the biggest thing, is to win, and everybody knows they've got to play their role and able to do that this season. And again, I think that's a huge. It's just a maturity level too, realizing like just whatever is needed from me on this particular day and particular game is what needs to be provided. So it will be interesting to see again how the new team syncs up, but it feels like this team is moving at a much mature level than it probably was last year, being that first year all together. It's a lot of egos, a lot of excitement happening, and now it seems to be that it is getting dialed in. But I do want to go back to one of the comments again, like, you know, a lot of the negativity is gone. Where is that? Where does that play into? I don't know. Who knows? There's a lot of guys that left. Speaking of guys who left, Dylan Edwards has committed to Kansas State. So it looks like there could be a little reunion there on October 12th. So I think I talked about that on the possibility of him going to, I think UCF was an option. Oh, that was Kermani. I think could be going to UCF. So there could be a little bit of personal battles there. If Kermani does end up at UCF, and now with Edwards at Kansas State, there's it's going to be a little something. I think both teams and both players and all players involved are be playing with a little chip on their shoulder. Look, every game this year is going to have a little chip on its shoulder when it comes against Colorado, just like it was last year. But now with these players leaving and the way some of them left, there's definitely a little more pizzazz than normal. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, you know what to do. Smash the like button, subscribe. We're on the way to 10,000 subs. We're almost there. Your support's been incredible. I appreciate it. Thank you. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace and love, baby.